Hey everyone, it's Amador. So today I just wanted to come on and ask for some suggestions. Pretty soon we will be traveling to Indiana for a wedding, for a family wedding. And I wanted to see if you guys had any suggestions. We will be for a couple of days in Michigan, in Adrian, Michigan. It's a smaller town. We will be there for a few days. We will also be in Bremen, Indiana, in Indiana. I'm trying to remember the places that we're going. So I wanted to see, and also a few days in Indianapolis. We're going to go visit some family first, and then we're heading over to a wedding in Indianapolis. And I wanted to see if you guys had, a few ladies and gentlemen, had any suggestions for craft stores and some antique malls or antique shops, or some really cool hidden places for antiques or scrapbook items or crafting items. We only have like literally 2 local scrapbook stores, and the rest are Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's. And don't get me wrong, you get some, some things there, but let's be honest, nothing beats a local scrapbook store or a little antique shop like out of the way that has the coolest little things. In all honesty, you guys know I'm totally obsessed with, this is my little antique shelf here, I'm totally obsessed with mason jars and berry baskets. So I have a lot of vintage berry baskets, and I actually have one of those massive berry basket carriers that they would use while they're picking berries. And, I actually look for smaller things, but this time, since we're going back to Indiana, I actually found, hold on, where is it? This one is my favorite one. This one I actually did find in Indiana, and it has a handle and everything. I fell in love with this. Like, the moment I saw this, and, it's like a little bucket, and the grooves and everything, the moment I saw it, I'm like, it had to be mine. I'm like, I will use all my lunch money, and it'll be mine. So if I find more of those, I would be ecstatic. I have some vintage berry baskets. I look for smaller things sometimes because they're easier to carry back. Like, I guard them with my life when we're flying back. So we're flying out there and we're flying back. But if I do find larger items or other things, I will probably ship them out this time because I'm more familiar with it. Last time we went in Indiana, close to Bremen, we went to, and I'm totally saying it wrong, I know, Napani. Nathan's like, you're not saying it wrong. I'm like, you say it. Then I said it. It just sounds a little bit different. So anyway, we went close to there, and there were a few antique shops and stuff like that. So hopefully look into, just get away for a couple of hours and look at stuff. And I asked Nathan, I'm like, hey, if I find a really cool craft store or scrapbook shop, can you, do you mind taking or going for a little bit, just a little bit out of the way. We will be visiting family, so we will be all of the time visiting family, but we can escape for a couple of hours, maybe go shopping for a little bit and go to dinner or something. Oh, and also, if you have a nerd in your life, because I do, maybe a really cool comic store. We here in where we are, Nathan actually has like a pull box at a comic shop and everything. He loves his comics. He's a complete nerd. So if there's a cool place like that, he collects vinyl figures. He collects like Funkos mainly, and other smaller stuff like other figurines and whatnot. So if you guys know of a cool comic shop, hopefully close to a scrapbook store or something, please let me know too. Like, if you have a nerd in your life and you're like, hey, this place is awesome. When we went to Arizona, we found some really, really cool shops that basically like a block away, one comic shop and one like scrapbook shop. So that was totally, totally awesome. But if you guys have any suggestions, I know literally I'm just babbling on. Just to tell you guys, like I said, I'm not going to be spending all of the time, shopping and stuff like that. But I figure we can get away for a couple of hours and look around, see what we can find. We actually both like antiques and stuff, but I actually love it. I love the hunt. I am looking for more Christmas stuff, for more vintage Christmas stuff. Like, I love me some shiny bright boxes. Now, here's the funny thing. The funny thing is, I love the shiny bright boxes and stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of the ornaments. I know, I'm weird. This year we said if I found a really cool color theme for the ornaments, we would probably use that for our Christmas decoration. Because this year, instead of having like the big massive tree and a smaller tree, we have like a 9-foot tree and like a 6-foot tree. We're probably just going to put up the smaller one because we have a lot of events coming up, a lot of things, in the works and stuff. So, but I'm not the biggest fan of of the ornaments, mainly because the color combinations are usually bright off, you know, colors, and I'm not the biggest fan of the combination of those colors. So, but I love the boxes, the packaging and the boxes and stuff. I know that some company has revived it, and here I've seen some stores that have them, like it has the older look of the boxes, but they're actually recently fabricated, and they're super expensive too. I'm like, even for these bootleg things, I'm like, are you serious? So I truly, for like, you can find the boxes and the containers. Okay, I think I may have mentioned it, and Nathan laughs at me when we're at like antique shopping or we go to little antique markets. I totally fall in love with packaging. Packaging draws my attention more than the actual object, because sometimes it's like, basic, but I love the packaging, the vintage styles, some of the retro styles and whatnot of the packaging, so that'll kind of draw my attention sometimes more than others. So I love, because, and also, here's the thing, with packaging, with boxes, or like, okay, like here you guys can see, there we go, like I have vintage milk cartons, I'll have like vintage egg cartons, like the prints and stuff like that. I mean, not the prints, like the actual, and you could literally fill them with tissue or whatever, so they're usually less expensive. I can usually bring them back flat. I don't know if that makes sense. I really have to consider like bringing them back from where I'm going. So I have searched, I'm not gonna lie, I have searched online. I've Googled a few places like in Indianapolis, and there was like one that I see that it pops up a lot, and then I have there's like some random ones. So if you guys have any suggestions, here's the thing, not to be a jerk, but I don't want to drive like an hour and a half out of the way where we're going to be. We're literally going to be in downtown Indianapolis for the wedding, but we're going to be in Indianapolis for a few days as well, and in Bremen, which is in, you know, a little bit. If you guys know those areas, if it's closer, I know sometimes there's like smaller towns like right connected with each other, so that's fine. I just really don't want to drive like an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours out of the way to go to something, and I'm like, they have like 5 things, like seriously. So I know that sounds wrong, but I appreciate any suggestions, any thoughts, any ideas. Like I said, we will be in Adrian, Michigan for a couple of days, Bremen, Indiana, and then finishing off our couple of days off in Indianapolis. So I have a feeling that maybe Indianapolis will have like a bigger selection of scrapbook stores, and the other locations might have like a better selection of the little antique shops, and I love them. Trust me, like the little ones owned by like, you know, somebody, as opposed to like, the antique malls are great, but because they're in an antique mall, they have to pay a higher overhead, so typically their items are a lot higher priced as well. So, you know, it's like, that's kind of the tougher thing. So that's why I kind of like the little pop, the one, like most of the stuff that I found last time were in this really small shop. The owner was super awesome, and I had a great time. But yeah, like packaging, oh my gosh, I would love to find some more like light boxes or ornament boxes. Even if they're empty, I have no problem filling them with like tinsel or something like that. I love it, love it, love it, love it, because I'm crazy. See, like, let me show you. Oh, okay, so I'm going to laugh if I break something while I'm trying to show you guys. Like, most of the stuff on this shelf are antiques. So, like, this is an antique egg box, and I got these on eBay, and it has the original. I just put some paper towel in there to kind of keep it shape. So these are actual, or that way, you know, are actual vintage cartons, and this one I got at, this is a little carton that I got at a vintage market. So typically I'm not the biggest fan of yellow, but these were super cool, so I was like, alright. So like, yeah, packaging like that, I feel like you could display it better because you don't have to worry about what's in it, or you don't really actually have to have anything in it. And ornament boxes like that, like seriously, like a white, I really love vintage Christmas stuff. Those white plastic deer, and just boxes. So yeah, so I've babbled on for like ever now. I do apologize about that, and I just basically was asking for suggestions, like I said, and in those places. So I appreciate any thoughts. I just figured this time I'll put out a video and be preemptive, because last time I was showing a haul from when we did go back to Indiana to visit Nathan's family, and some people were like, oh, there's a place nearby, or you know, this and that, and this way I kind of am prepared for it. But not only that, I can kind of sneak away here and there, but not to take too much time away from the family gatherings and stuff. But yes, so thank you guys in advance for all your suggestions. Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate you. And who knows, maybe we'll run into each other when I'm in Indiana. So talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone.